Hello, everyone, and welcome to another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the Werewolf venue. We have an intro scene for this one. A cub is being shown around the sept by her mentor, who arrived with her not very long ago. And they're both just kind of walking around, surveying the place, I suppose, by themselves for now. So, Dee, go ahead and introduce your character and describe her and stuff like that.
So, Delia is a young lady. She looks to be about 22-ish, 21, 22 maybe. She's about average height. She's pretty average looking. Nothing really stands out about her. Kind of mousy brown hair, nondescript color skin tone, just very, very average. She's wearing a hoodie and kind of ratty, dirty jeans and well-worn sneakers, tennis shoes. She looks to be curious, but almost drawn into herself a bit. But the only thing that shows interest is her eyes can't seem to settle on any one thing. Her eyes are all over the place, trying to take in everything she sees without making herself noticeable.
The sept itself is a very wild space. It is located within the mountains just south of Dublin. So the lay of the sept itself is there's like a couple of actual like buildings around. There's an area that's obviously been used as sort of some sort of training area, but the rest looks relatively like if you were to walk through, it would just look like a national park for the most part. So there's not a whole lot interesting going on per se. A few of the like normal sights you would see, some animals, birds flying overhead, that kind of stuff. So
she does move a bit like she's comfortable in these type of environs, like she spent a little bit of time out in the outdoors. She doesn't look like a city kid.
Yeah, Abby, on the other hand, looks a bit more like she's from a city, but she doesn't look uncomfortable in a space like this either. And yeah, so you have these two walking along. So if the other two would like to jump in, they totally can.
As they head past the, I assume they are they're walking all over the sept.
Yeah, just kind of walking around it, getting a feel for it, taking it in, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, as they get near one area, there's this guy, and he's practicing with a quarterstaff, and he's going through a number of moves and stuff. At first, it kind of looks like disjointed maneuvers, but if you watch for a couple of moments, it actually is there's a rhyme to the reason. He's dressed in jogging pants and a t-shirt, and he's obviously worked up a sweat.
And Max, for his part, he's in lupus form, so basically he looks like a good boy. Never mean no harm. He's just sat there, probably like off to the side, just watching watching as the Alroon is twirling the stick around. Yes, he's a good boy. Just twirling the stick around, and he's just kind of like, his eyes are just kind of like going back and forth with, in the movements of the stick. Though his mouth is closed. Though you might also, I suppose you might say his look is kind of like one part amusement, one part confusion. But he's just basically just sat there being a good old boy, just watching what's going on.
When I see the German Shepherd looking dog over there, you can almost see her take a step in the direction and then pull back in on herself. She really wants to come over there and pet you. But she checks herself and looks up to Abby. So
yeah, Abby kind of looks like she's confused a little bit, and she just mumbles, kind of looks like a police dog would have back in the States.
I did have a friend who had a dog like that, but he was very nice. But I'm assuming that's not a regular dog.
I would guess that would be correct. She's gonna use scent of the true form, just like.
I think you don't need to make a roll for that.
No.
You know that they're Garu.
Yeah, no, that's Garu. I would guess Bonar probably by its appearance. She's just looking at it a lot like the look on her overlay, like a bit confused, because even a lot of the Bonars that she's seen don't look quite so dog-like.
It's just so much to take in, so different.
It is. She nods like, yep.
So where will I be staying?
Well, I would imagine that I would need to let you stay with the other cubs. I'm sure there's a den parent around here somewhere.
She nods. Looks a little uncertain, but she seems like she just kind of settles on, okay, we will work with this. You can just kind of see that expression go across her face.
Yeah, her expression is that she's not very happy about this, but she also knows that they are in a slightly more traditional place than where they've been before. To go against any traditions that they have would go against her very nature. So
where do you stay? Are you going to stay here with me as well?
For now, yes, she nods. I don't really have anywhere else to stay at the moment, and I really don't want to let you go too far.
She nods quickly. She does start pulling her hands in her hoodie, the sleeves. She's not quite used to this type of weather.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's cold in Ireland right now.
And she kind of puts one sleeve over the other and draws her hands inside. She looks uncomfortable, but trying to take as much in as she possibly can without looking like a country bumpkin in a big city.
Abby will take a step forward to the other two and kind of nudge Delia that way.
I kind of take a faltering step forward, but go forward nonetheless.
Connor will finish off his practicing and grab a towel off the ground and wipe off his face and forehead and look over. And, yeah, we got new people. Looks like at least people I haven't seen before. What's up?
Abby will give a little wave.
I give a very unsure, almost like a little kid wave.
And
Definitely
Max
definitely an American accent to his voice.
And Max will just kind of like look over towards the two newcomers. He'll just give like a slightly raised paw in response to the wave.
Abby will chuckle. That's probably one of the most adorable things she's ever seen.
And he will approach the two.
I
Hello.
do stand my ground, but I watch body language.
Pretty neutral. He just walks, approaches, and then sits down to look at the two of you, still in lupus form. And I'll look over towards Connor.
You can definitely tell she's doing everything she possibly can not to kneel down and start doing the little kid pet the ears and the head, like they will do to dogs.
Who's a good boy?
Exactly. You can see that written across her face. She's doing everything she can not to do that.
Abby
I'm
can
gone.
see this, and she's quite amused, actually.
Sorry,
You
Ian, did
guys, yeah, I was just going to say, Connor looks up and down and goes, "So you guys new around here?"
We are.
You could definitely say that.
Oh, welcome. I'm
Hi.
I'm Connor Grant, also known as Rageberry Deep. I am a child of Gaia, Dirge, and Gleath of the Nation. And
With that second name, I look at Abby with a little bit of curiosity and then look back to you.
also, has it been made official that he's the assistant keeper of the land, Lindsay?
Oh, yeah. It hasn't been like held or anything, but it's pretty well known now.
Cool. And assistant to the keeper of the land.
She just kind of nods. She's clueless as to what that means, but she nods and goes, okay.
Oh, you actually have one of those here.
Yes, we do.
Kind of give a sidelong, raised eyebrow expression in Abby's direction, looking a little on the confused side. Okay, a lot on the confused side.
She notes that, and she turns to her and says, "Keeper of the land is someone who is it's their job to tend the spirits of the sept and the actual grounds of the sept."
So you're a groundskeeper assistant?
Sorry, I missed that.
So you're a groundskeeper assistant?
Sort of. It's more the dealing with the spirits as well.
Okay, she nods, still looking rather confused.
Back home, we didn't have anybody set to do that. We just kind of all worked together.
Ah, fair enough. Where are you guys from?
I think it would be fair to say that they came from Louisiana.
That works.
We're from Louisiana.
Well, neat. I don't know exactly where I'm from, but last I remember, I was first thing I remember is I was living up in Alaska. Yeah, that's it.
She visibly shivers.
Alaska.
Cold.
Yeah, Abby kind of does the same thing, like just an involuntary shiver. Like that is way too cold.
That southern blood goes, no, thank you.
Mm-mm. Exactly. No.
So, what do you guys do around here besides play with sticks?
And Max, making use of a certain merit that he has, will shift his vocal patterns to that of Homid. And he'll again look over towards Connor. And forgive me, out of character. Max looks over towards Connor and says, "Aye, what is it about that stick that you were twirling about? You were trying to. Were you trying to throw that because you were failing?"
No, it's a form of martial art known as iskako.
Bless you.
Out of character, you're speaking like
In a ridiculously heavy Scottish accent.
Delia's eyes are
I
big as saucers, and she looks at Abby and looks at the dog, looks at Abby.
Abby is beside herself a bit. She's not laughing, but she wants to. Like this is the weirdest, probably one of the weirdest things she's ever seen.
Delia is actually flabbergasted. She's doing the what in the world? It talks. Is the look on her face? It talks.
Is that Scottish?
And Max turns to Abby. Aye, from Glasgow.
Okay.
Sorry.
And
I'll
Connor
mark that down
is
on the list
doing-
of things I've seen now.
Connor is doing all he can do to not crack up laughing at your guys' reactions.
They are just beside themselves.
What your name?
They're definitely not from around here.
What your name? A lupus from Scotland?
Her mouth moves and nothing comes out. It opens and closes and opens and closes a few times, and she's just totally flabbergasted.
Yeah, Abby's jaw is visibly dropped just a little bit. Like,
Do I need to stand up on two legs for you to take me seriously?
no, it's just not something that we've ever seen before. Sorry.
You know, you can actually do that. It's just that it's a lot easier for me.
She nods. Of course.
Aye.
It's just
Anyway, sorry. I'm Max Power. Philodox to the bone gnawers.
Pleased to meet you. She kind of does the tentative hand out to shake your hand and then pulls it back.
Max actually does raise his paw up. He was assuming that you were going to shake his hand like the Homid way, but
Well, if you do actually
when
stick
you receive it, he kind of like has the "Are you serious?" look up.
and I reach back out to shake his paw, and I'm just the look on her face is classic. And she kind of peers up to Abby and then back down to you, and just awe and confusion and oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? Just reads like ticker tape across her face. Is this normal among here?
About as
No offense.
I-
She looked
I'm
down at
used to it. It seems.
Are you mocking me, lass?
Not at all. Just this is all very new.
I think we're both in a little bit of shock at how different things are here. She nods.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I can understand that.
Aye, you lot are from across the water. Hi.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're from the States, in Louisiana, which is south. And where we're from, there's not a lot of lupus born.
I thought that your place had a lot of lupus, though. Or is that the more mainland Europe?
I think more of where we're from, there it's more urban, so there's not a lot of wolves there.
There's not a lot of critters anywhere other than raccoons and the like.
Alligators
raccoon.
sometimes. Gators sometimes, depending on where you go.
Yes.
Raccoon, yes. If you're used to raccoons, this is the place to be.
I am perfectly fine with raccoons. She
Because
nods. Over enthusiastically, you can tell she's nervous.
Abby kind of like raises a hand. I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Abby Jackson, exacts justice. I'm a Hamid, Philodox of the Black Furies, ranked agent.
Oh.
well met.
Nice to meet you, Jackson Raya.
She gives a bit of a smile at that. She seems perfectly fine being called by her last name. That's fine. She was in law enforcement, so that's the thing that happens.
Oh, it's also a term of respect as well.
Mm-hmm.
For both Homids and, Galru.
The sept is actually the totem is a raccoon here, so that's I was mentioning that.
Well, how about that?
How fortuitous. She's still doing the it almost looks like a tennis match with her eyes. She's looking between Abby and you two as you speak. Still looks like she's trying to take it all in and not curl into herself. And
why don't you go ahead and tell them who you are?
Okay. My name is Delia. She actually stutters a little bit over her last name. Lykios.
That's fair. That's fair.
She looks to Abby. I am a Hamid Philodox. She looks
nods.
unsure with the verbiage. And I'm still learning a lot. So please bear with me. This is all very new to me.
Oh, we all start somewhere.
Yes. She's a cub, hasn't been changed that long. I've been looking after her.
A few weeks now, hasn't it?
She nods. I think it was like end of January, something like that.
That sounds about right.
Well, welcome to the nation.
Thank you. It's very different. Very interesting. Lots to learn.
It
She
is.
actually seems to become just a little bit more confident as she says this.
And he'll smile. But to answer the earlier question, what I was doing is a martial art called Iskako, which is a martial art that's practiced by the child guy at my tribe.
Okay. I've only ever seen jujitsu and karate, so that's all kind of new to me. Do you guys have like a dojo here? I think that's the word for it.
No, I don't know if there's many practitioners of this martial art in the Sept. I know of only myself, but I just use the outdoor space. It helps me to center myself and meditate.
Fair enough. She's still looking around, just trying to get a feel for what's around her still. Well, she looks up at Abby. What next?
Suppose we should probably find the den parent.
She turns back to you two. It was very nice to meet you.
Hi, pleasant.
And she
Just
looks
a
at
pleasure.
the German Shepherd again, and you can just see she really wants to pet you, but she draws back in on herself again.
Yes, because he has the name that you cannot touch.
She also hasn't been given any sort of permission, so
Also litany.
yes.
Yep.
That's why she keeps pulling back, but you can see it very plain across her face.
Abby looks between the two of them. Perhaps you can help.
Hey, we could probably help.
We need she's a cub, so we need the den parent.
Oh, yeah. Follow me. I know where she is. Member of my tribe, she is.
Wonderful. He's like, of course she is. She has mixed feelings on Children of Gaia.
Everybody does until they need healing. And
wow.
I'm not even going to lie. That is very true.
I mean, yeah. And but she does seem a tad reassured that she heard she, so at least it's a female.
Yes, you do see Delia visibly relax just a little bit with that.
And Connor will lead them towards where the den mother usually is. Start at the garden.
Mm-hmm.
See if she's there.
And yes, she is. So she is tending her garden.
And oh god, Dazzles, right?
Yes.
Yes. Connor will walk towards the garden and kind of clear his throat a bit and hey, Dazzles.
Dazzles will look up and smile.
Got a couple of newcomers.
I kind of give a wave and grin.
She looks to them. She gives a very, very warm smile. She radiates very maternal energy. And she speaks with a slight Spanish accent that I can't really do. So she'll say, hello. She'll stand up and kind of like wipe her hands, wipe her hands off on her jeans that she's wearing. She's wearing jeans and she's not wearing a heavy jacket, but it's definitely a warm jacket and gloves. And when she stands up, she is small. She's only about 5'3", and a little bit tiny. But she feels bigger than she is.
You can kind of see the tension release from her shoulders a little bit with that warm smile greeting.
Abby relaxes as well, and she looks to her and she says, we're both new, and she's a cub. And Dazzles will nod, and she'll cautiously step over to them, but she doesn't like rush over. She doesn't want to startle Delia. But she'll just very calmly and not overly slowly walk over.
I give another one of those hesitant waves.
I am known as Dazzles the Young, and I'm the Den Mother. And I am of the Children of Gaia, a Galliard.
She looks at Abby again and then looks back to Dazzles. I'm Delia.
She nods.
I am Hamid Philodox. She just she doesn't look like she's very comfortable saying that yet. You can just tell that it doesn't roll easy from her.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to be helping me, I suppose.
Yes, I I look after the cubs and help get them ready for whatever tribe they choose to join. I give lessons. It's not structured like school. I don't want to make it too boring like that, but
she sets her jaw and nods.
I give a lot of information here and there to help you make the best choice.
She nods through the conversation.
And she then she looks over to the other two to acknowledge that they're there and gives a little wave.
Max with his paw. All right, lass.
Oh.
All right, Raya.
She smiles. How are you two doing?
Not so bad. I learned. Just keep learning. Just waiting. But well, have you heard about the new cub that came in? The one that we rescued?
I look back and forth again like that tennis match as the conversation's going on.
She kind of looks at Max a little bit confused, like, why wouldn't I?
Are you even settling in? I've only seen them a little bit.
Oh, yes, they have been being kept on the sept grounds a little while longer while they still get used to being what they are, as both of them need a little extra care. But she looks to Delia. You look like you've been around just a little bit. How long ago did you change?
January-ish.
She nods. Then there's no reason for you to stay on Sept with the other cubs. You can, if you have a place to stay in the city, you can stay there. There's also a place that I have in the city for cubs that those two will be moved to eventually if you have no place to stay.
I don't have anybody here.
She nods.
I don't really have any family. So
she takes a deep breath.
A look of, you can see the pain cross her face as she says this.
She knows that look. She knows that feeling. She just holds her arms out.
She steps into the hug and
she gives her a very warm, loving hug, and the energy that she's giving off knows that she actually understands the pain that she's feeling.
And Delia cries just a little bit. You can feel soft sobs.
Abby steps back a little bit and chews her lip, knowing what Delia just had gone through. It's a little bit tough for her to watch, but she knows that she needs to have that bond with the dead mother. So, and she hugs her and lets her cry, and it's okay. I've got you. We're your family now, and I'll make sure that you're taken care of.
She starts to pull herself together, and you can feel her stiffen just a little bit.
And I don't mean that in a way that you have people.
She nods, but she's still kind of drawing back into herself just a little bit.
She then looks to Abby. I'm assuming you've been taking care of her? And Abby will nod. Do you need a place to stay too? And she will nod again. and yeah, Abby is now not uncomfortable, but just there's a lot of emotions now that she's not willing to display in front of strangers. Delia will know that Abby very much likes to keep her emotions in check, and doesn't display them outwardly to a lot of people.
And this will probably be the first time you've actually seen her cry.
Yep.
She's been very stoic about the whole thing since you picked her up.
So yeah, there's just that exchange of nods, and Abby knows that Dazzles will take care of it, so she doesn't say anything more. She'll look to the other two. Is there anything that you two need?
Connor,
no,
sorry. Connor just shakes his head. Thank you again for pointing me towards your packmate about the identity thing.
Oh, of course. Not a problem. So I think with that, Dazzles will look to Delia and Abby, and she'll say, let's get you out of the cold, and we can I can show you where you're going to be staying.
I nod and I wipe the tears and the snot from my face with my sleeves, trying to pull myself back together.
Dazzles pulls some tissues out of her pocket, because with the cold, she likes to keep them on hand because involuntarily runny noses is a thing, and hands them over to her.
She takes it and finishes wiping her face off and makes sure there's nothing on her clothes that should not be.
And I think with that would probably be a good place to end the scene. So Dazzles will take the two of them, and I'll give you a description later of what the place looks like.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's nothing else. Thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time. Goodbye.